let's change the topic. So,
How to make bread.
Yeah.
how do we make money? Jeff, tell us what's the best way to make money?
Be friends with Ayman. Ask him a shit ton of questions. Ayman, what's your method?
The method, bro, is you need to be valuable in the marketplace. That's it.
How do I become valuable in the marketplace, Ayman?
Okay. If you want to become valuable, you need to learn a skill. Now we're getting into like the very cliche of like, oh, learn a skill, outreach, get a client. But ultimately, if you get good at something that you know people will pay for, you will make money. And how do you know what people are buying? You just look at someone else's company and you just copy it.
Right.
When I started my short form agency, I used to have a short form content agency. I just looked at someone else's agency. This is unethical, but I ripped the whole website to offer everything and I just started sending outreach. And I already had like a base level of the skill. And I knew as I got more clients and worked with them, I would learn more skills and get better at it. So, and I always knew in the back of my mind, hey, if ever I work with someone and I do a very poor job, I can just refund them, right? So I had the full confidence like closing people because I always knew in the back of my mind, I could refund them as needed. And then, yeah, it worked out. First client became like a big case study. But yeah.
Do you think most people should start an agency or like some other thing first? Because you said you started dropshipping first, right?
Yeah, I tried dropshipping, but I failed it twice. Agency is the best because you don't need that much money to do it. Like we all have agencies. We all started with like no money. And well, except you're like draining your like because they started scaling off of ads. I was scaling off of like outreach, so it was free. I didn't have the balls or even the know-how to do ads. Well,
it was just smart lead and like random stuff, bro. It wasn't ads, I don't think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know I remember there was a period where, because you had like investments and stuff.
Bro, I sold all my investments. Like all my accounts, I liquidated them.
And wasn't like nerve-wracking to do that? Or?
Bro, I was pretty, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Me and Sarah were like in a coffee shop one day and we're like, are we gonna do this? And I was like, yeah. And we're like, fuck it, we just sold like everything and then we'll transfer it to my account.
Yeah.
I don't even know, like a few $1,000 left. And then we found that mentorship.
Yeah.
So you gotta get mentorship.
Yeah. And none of us sell mentorship, by the way, so we're not saying this with ulterior motives. But yeah, that's definitely like one of the main things that have like pushed all of us forward for sure.
Mentors.
Yeah.
How do you find a good mentor? That's a real good question.
You got to just make sure they've actually done or actively do what they're currently like selling or promoting. The last thing you want is to learn from someone who's like selling like outdated methods and they don't actively run an agency or whatever, you know? Yeah, that's
the real method, is doing that.
Yeah, pretty much. They call me the method man. Yeah.
I want to learn more about, okay, so like if you're not like a really big spender, so like what's one thing you'll like for sure like ball out on?
I think the best things to spend money on is your apartment and food. And then in terms of spending money on myself, that's like the best investment. Like definitely like apartment for sure. Because really like you spend so much time in your house per day, you might as well have like a good house. But ultimately the rule comes down to, or the rule I've found online and used for myself is just always spend less than 20% of your net profit per month. Like never cross. Yeah. Because if you never cross it, like you basically have unlimited money. Because like you have like, you know, let's say you make like, okay, if you make 10K a month, you know, you can only spend 2K. But eventually you reach a point where, you know, you're making 100, you know, oh, you can only spend 20. It's like, I don't even really need to spend 20. You know, I'm good with like 10. And now I'm at like 10%. And then the income keeps growing, but I keep the living expenses around the same. And then that's when you just have like so much cash to like dub back into what you're doing. Like if you have cash is king, and you can like go, you can pay for a new mentor, you can hire people, etc. So I think it's very important early you kind of like hold on to the money a bit. That's my strategy. I mean, Ali will tell you something different. They dropped.
We did the tape method.
Yeah, they did the tape method, and it worked out for them, right? So there's no right and wrong way to do it.
Whatever works for your personality, really, or like what you want to do.
Yeah, exactly. Like with me, I was pushing like decent numbers, and I was living in my parents' house for like 2 years before I moved out. And yeah, with them, they drained their whole bank account on their first month's rent, and they're like, okay, we'll figure it out. So whatever works with you, basically. I guess with you, what's your strategy for like managing your money? Do you have any like rules in place or something?
For the living expenses, like I'm like in a different situation. My advice would just be like find a rich Chinese chick. that one kind of worked for me.
But remember you were saying you just like to spend at one point.
Oh yeah. Back then, well, that was like way before the agency though. That was like the Axie days. Like that was like retarded money. Do you know?
I don't know. Like,
Okay, so basically like Axie was like this crypto game,
uh,
and then my friend like we were in crypto like pretty early on, like maybe 2018, somewhere around there when we were grade 11. And then there was this big game. It wasn't big at the time when we got in, but then we were making like 100K per month. Just me and like 3 other guys. And you have to keep in mind, like that was like, dude, I used to flip burgers. Like,
yeah.
like I've never touched that amount of money, dude. The amount of like money that comes in is like equivalent to the amount of money that went out back then.
What were you buying?
Yeah, what was it that
Like one, like that time, I just turned 20, and it was the first time the clubs are opened.
Oh,
It was retarded. That was fucked. We'd go every week.
cool.
What
Did you
else?
guys
Just a lot of
tables?
clothes. Yeah, and rent. What?
get tables?
Yeah, it was retarded. It was retarded.
Damn, man. People say the clubbing scene in Vancouver isn't even that good.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
So you would spend like 100 every month.
No, it wasn't 100K just by myself. It was like me and 4 other guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
How, dude? I'm surprised. Like in 2018, because yeah, crypto wasn't even really like that poppin' back then.
Yeah.
You're able to make 100K divided by like 5 people.
Yeah, well, like, no, we bought our first, like, ETH, like, in 2018,
Yeah.
but, like, that game was in, like, 2021. 2021, yeah.
Okay.
So, like, yeah, but I bought into it. Obviously, I'm also, like, half joking where, like, I did blow most of it, but not all of it.
Yeah.
But, yeah. The money we're putting in, it was just because we were working I was working at A&W at the time, I think.
Oh, like
Or-
actually.
Yeah, I was actually flipping burgers. And so, like, when I say, like, I bought ETH, like, it's not that crazy of a flex because it was only like $5,000 or
Yeah.
$10,000. But
Mhm.
I think that's like that got most of my jitters out. Like when I first touched like agency money.
Yeah, I think most people you just need to get it out of your system.
Yeah, we got it out of our.
Yeah. And that looks different for everyone. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But okay, wait. But you never really had that phase. So like, how did you know to like act the way you do right now though?
I don't know, to be honest. I think like just that stuff never really like interested me too much of like, so because the main reason why I wanted to make money in the first place was really so I could stop going to school and so I could have like location freedom. And my first goal was to like move back to Vancouver once I hit like 30K a month. But it was like, of course I wanted and still want like cool cars like eventually, but I'm in like no rush at all. So I don't know. I never had to get it out of me. I think I like learned through other people's mistakes. Like I've seen enough stories on Instagram to where people were like living so lavish and they lost it all and then they're back to like working normal jobs and stuff. So I just knew like, okay, I need to like just keep my money.
Yeah, you know what though? Like, funny how you say that because like like about that Sam Millsap thing.
Yeah.
When I saw that, like subconsciously, like I think it like rewired something in my brain to like be a little bit more not like frugal, but like less retarded with like how you spend it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had the STO,
Yeah.
Huracan, he had the Urus, and then I think he had another car too. And then yeah, he just lost all his money.
How did he lose all his money?
Like, okay, what he says is he was saying he hired
Yeah.
this freaking like growth op like sales agency and he was like blaming them, but really it was
Oh,
like
because they didn't do shit.
Yeah.
that's what he was saying. He was saying they made him go from 200K a month to like 60 and then he wasn't paying the
It
sales
was
rep.
only at 200K a month.
Yeah.
And bought like Lambos and shit.
Yeah, I mean finance, bro. Like
Holy shit.
dude, you only have to put like 50K down and then like 5K a month or 4K a month or like whatever.
Wow.
Yeah. But anyways, I don't know. He was on some bullshit. He wasn't paying his sales reps and then he got fucking exposed.
Yeah, which is crazy to me because like for a sales rep to not get paid, like at one point he had that money.
Yeah.
So he must have been so retarded more than us. Like if it's like a regular employee, it could make sense because maybe you just overhired and then like you just never had that money. But like a sales rep, he had that money to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy. But you know what? There's gonna be some retard out there that like thinks that like there's so much abundance. Why would like they're gonna like be like keyboard warriors and be like, Ayman, you're such a scarce mindset person.
Yeah, the thing is like I think people attach like, oh, in order to have an abundance mindset, you need to spend a lot of money. But that's just very far from the truth. You can have an abundance mindset and it doesn't mean you have to spend money. Like I am very abundant in a sense that like I've literally like before I used to have a coaching program, like I taught like 100+ people how to run the same business as me because I knew there's an abundance of potential prospects. Like I knew I wasn't going to starve or anything through doing that. But if I had a scarcity mindset, I would be like, oh, there's only 200 or 300 people that maybe will buy from me. And like buy my agency service and I need to like gatekeep and not tell anyone. But I'm the opposite, you know, I help everybody whenever I can. You know, I'm helping like Jeff, like ask me questions, I'll answer him. I don't go like, oh, I'm not gonna tell you or like whatever.
Yeah.
Because I know there's enough to go around for everyone. So I think that's one big misconception. You know, people see someone like, of course there's a difference if like someone is like hella frugal and it's like, oh, they don't want to buy food out and they're like eating like $1 sandwiches or something. But you know, I'm not like that, right? Like I still have things and I, you know, like I retired like my parents or my mom and you know, I have things, but I'm just like my rent is like 3,500 a month and my living expenses come out to like less than 10 like every month. So it's like and I don't need to spend more. But other people, you know, they want like a 30K a month crib and then they want like 2 3 cars and like all these things. And who knows, maybe eventually I'm gonna become like that, whether it's after like a big increase in income or like whatever, but I'm not in a rush to get those things. I think it's also bad to like rush into getting all those things like too quick because some people might enter this mind frame thinking like they completed life or something. Like they'll think like, oh, I already got like all these Lambos and all this. Like I want to like pace myself and be like, hey, you know, after X amount of time, like I'll get this when I hit this goal and keep it fun, you know, rather than like buy everything now. Not that I could do that and I have unlimited money or something, but yeah, that's what I think. Like, do you think like you need to have if you have an abundance mindset, you need to spend a lot, or do you think it's too disconnected?
No, I think it's definitely two different things because like you can have an abundant mindset but still be realistic, right? Like I think like if you know there's gonna be ebbs and flows, it'd be retarded of you to spend all your money each and every month.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stop you from being abundant where like you know it's gonna eventually like turn back up in the future.
Yeah.
So I do agree with you that like you don't have to spend all your money to prove that you're like you like believe in abundance here.
Yeah, that's the trap people fall into, and this works for some people where like basically they spend the money they have and it motivates them to like make more to like afford the things they paid for, and they have this like wall of expenses that they know they have to make every month. But I think from a much more clean mind frame, like knowing that like I don't have like if I lost my business tomorrow, like I'm good for a minute. Like I have enough time to like figure it out. But these other people, they're living like very month to month. Like
Yeah.
the profit from this month, oh, it goes into these 3 cars in this apartment, and then it's like they can't pay this invoice and they get exposed online or whatever. So yeah, I'm in no rush to get those things, but I'll get them eventually.
Yeah, I think also a lot of people that are like that are not really doing it for themselves, but like they feel the need to like
Yeah,
get it.
the validation from other people. Yeah, that's like 100% like a huge reason. It's good you brought that up. Like a lot of people, they're like, yeah, they think they need like a Lambo to like look cool or fit in or like whatever. But the reality is that people that, let's say the people we want to sell our agency services to, you know, it's a B2B offer, selling to other businesses, they're not impressed by a Lambo because like we were saying this earlier to Ali when he was here, it's like you only need 50K down and like 5K a month or whatever to finance a Lambo.
Yeah.
Like pretty much any business owner who's been in business and is competent for like a little bit can afford to do that. It's going to impress the wrong people. Yeah. And I think now, like if you have a supercar, like 3 4 years ago, it was way cooler than now.
Yeah,
There's like supercar inflation. Why? Because there's just more money in circulation since 2020. So just more people have supercars and like all this stuff. And then the bar keeps getting pushed higher and higher. And some people even say like the top was when like TJR bought like the Koenigsegg.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, how are we gonna beat that? You know, it's just yeah.
Yeah, I do think there will be like a limit to like how much of a supercar like is a flex. And then I think there's like the pendulum's gonna swing where like the new flex is like how little can you show?
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, like maybe like in 2018 or whatever year where like showing so many brands and logos was like the cool flex thing.
Yeah.
Now like showing the least amount of logos like Laurel Piana and shit like that is like the new trend. And I think it's gonna be the same thing. Like it's gonna follow the same arc with like supercars and like how you display wealth and how well your business is doing.
Yeah, I think that's a very good like observation for sure. Yeah, the pendulum will swing to like showing less.
Yeah, because like I think the person that first bought the supercar and flexed it reaped all the rewards because it was a cool and new thing to do. But now since everybody does it, it doesn't have the same effect anymore.
Yeah.
And then so you're gonna have to do something completely different to have that same effect as the first person that bought that supercar. I don't know what it is though.
Yeah. I think in general, like even with all the clients we work with or myself, I always focus on building the personal brand based on like value and, you know, being like just giving valuable information, and then of course tying your own stories into it so that you can differentiate yourself from other people. And like that's the meta. Whenever a personal brand is built on lifestyle and supercars and stuff, it just like it dies out very quick, or it just like doesn't work long term.
Speaking of personal brand, how do you manage like how you want to appear in front of the camera? Like, would you say the way you present yourself online is very similar to how you are as a person?
I'll ask you that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I personally think it is pretty much the same. I think you're like a very stoic person at times in the videos, but knowing you in person, I think you're like just the regular like 20-year-old where like you're just retarded sometimes in front of the boys.
Yeah.
Would you say this? Would you say that?
Yeah, I'd say for sure. Yeah, definitely with, like friends and the guys and stuff, I'm more like, bit more like loose, I guess. Yeah. And one observation people have given me is I'm a very smiley person, in person, but I mean, in my videos, I don't know if I smile too much.
Somebody said you look like a terrorist in the
Oh, yeah.
video.
Shout out to that girl though, because I got 110K views on Instagram and like probably another 200 on Twitter, and I closed some deals off of it. So that was good for business for sure. But ultimately, I would say any personal brand that's not actually acting in line with who they are, they do not stand the test of time, because eventually they build this personal brand on this fake persona, and it's like, oh, they're just not that person, and either they're going to run out of things to talk about, it's going to be inauthentic or whatever. The best personal brands is like it's just very like real and authentic to who they are. And a lot of people confuse authenticity with like over editing or like overproduced stuff, but it's like two different things entirely. Like you can still be authentic and have like a well composed video, but inauthenticity comes from just not being yourself and just saying random things. I think I'm pretty similar.
Yeah, I agree with that too, where it's like, for example, like the classic example I always give to all my clients is like, if you want to appear like authentic, like inauthenticity would look like if Sam Sulek, you know who he is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like started editing his videos and like had like fucking crazy like animation shit like that, right? Because that's not like who he is as a person. He's just very like monotone, laid back guy. And so the way he has it is like just authentic to him. But like if fucking Mr. Beast never edited his videos and like was like fucking monotone every time, it wouldn't be as authentic to him. Maybe like Mr. Beast, he like adopted the personality he like cultivated, like maybe he became the mold. But I think the premise still stays true, where like just because somebody else is doing it doesn't mean you have to do it.
Yeah, 100%. Let me ask you this. Where do you think, so okay, we spoke before about like, okay, things are shifting from like less lifestyle marketing brands and flexing and stuff to like less of that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. What other trends do you see now? Like where's content heading now, like going into 2026?
Okay. I personally think like if you look at like why lifestyle like marketing was like such a big good thing is because like not everybody can do it, right? And like that's just the premise of marketing. Like if nobody can do it, then like that's the best way to market. So I think it'll shift into like, I think more people are going to be very transparent with like how they spend their money, their P&Ls and all that stuff. Because I don't think you could really fake that in a way. I think you can fake like financing a car, like renting out a penthouse and saying you own it or some shit. Mm-hmm. But I think like showing legitimate. Okay, you know what? This is a really good one. You know Julia Patrones? Yeah. You know how like his brokerage account is like he's up and down like 2 mil like on a random day.
Just shows.
Yeah, like that is like the new wave of lifestyle marketing, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think like I definitely agree. 100%. Just like more transparency and like showing the downs, showing the ups, and all that is definitely where info at least is gonna go for sure. And then do you think like still like giving a lot of value in the content is like also the
yeah, like the barrier, like keep the bar for like the minimum amount of value, like it is constantly going up. Yeah, so I think that'll always stick around, but like the way it's shown is going to look different.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Dope. Well, thanks guys for tuning in to this mini podcast here, and I don't know where this is even going to go up, but see you guys in the next one.